Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Danelle Wolf, the chair of the Child Development and Teacher Education Division. And I have with me today Daphne Riddle and Shannon Solomon from our Career Services. And they're going to tell you a little bit about what they do and how they can help connect you with your future career.
Thank you, Danelle. Hello, I am Daphne Riddle, and I'm the Director of Career Services and QEP, Aspire to be Hired, which is our quality enhancement plan. And so what I'm going to do first is just tell you a little bit about Career Services and what we have to support you in your educational process. So Career Services is really here to help you meet that goal to obtain your dream job, right? We want to help prepare you from the very beginning. Maybe you don't even know what you want to major in. That's probably not true for y'all since you've chosen this child development education pathway. Congratulations. But if you know someone, or if you're not quite sure, then we can do those career exploration. We do assessments. We process those assessments with you, kind of really understand your characteristics and your tendencies, what might fit with your personality, those sorts of things. And then we go into maybe you're looking for a job while you're going to school. We can help you find part-time jobs. We can help prepare you for searching for a job. A lot of the professional development skills, so preparing your cover letter, getting your resume where it's going to get you in the door, even filling out an application, because sometimes those can be daunting, especially some of those education applications for school districts and stuff that are, like phone books, or I guess online, lots of pages online. So filling out those, we're happy to help you do that so that you're putting your best foot forward and putting in information that the prospective employer wants to see. Also helping you develop those employability skills, also known as soft skills or professional skills, like your critical thinking, your professional presentation, your problem solving, how to communicate professionally, all of that sort of training, we do that. And then once you get in the door for an interview, we can help practice those interviews. We love to do mock interviews and then process that with you so that you can begin to get comfortable with that process. We're also here to help you if you're looking for practicum sites or intern sites or those sorts of things. We can kind of help you tackle that monster as well. So really that's what Career Services is here for, is to serve you in getting you into those positions that you're here to get. And we love doing it. So I am going to now turn this over to, well, first of all, did I miss anything, Shannon? No? Okay. We do lots of stuff, and we're happy to. So, but I'm going to turn this over to career coach Shannon Solomon, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about how to find those careers while you're in school or if you're fixing to graduate that are going to help build your skills to grow professionally. So, and where to find those. So, Shannon, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Daphne. Like she said, my name is Shannon Solomon. I'm one of the career coaches here at NCTC. And today I'm going to show you one of the platforms that we have where you can search for jobs. If you're familiar with like Indeed.com or Monster or Career Builder or any of those job search websites, this is kind of similar to those. But this one is specifically for NCTC students and alumni. So any employers that we work with or that reach out to NCTC that are looking to hire our students, this is where they go to post those positions. And so it's a great place to look because, one, you know that they're local and in the area looking for our students. And two, they actually most of the time reached out specifically to NCTC looking for our students. So it just kind of, gives you a little bit more of an advantage to be considered for some of these positions. Whereas if you're applying through Indeed, just as an example, anybody and everybody can be applying to that. So these are a little bit more exclusive to you and just, a great place to add to your job search. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I might have to cut my video off in just a minute because of my bad internet connection. So if my face disappears, I apologize, but hopefully you'll still be able to see my screen. So I am just going to open up Firefox, but you can use whichever browser that works best for you. And there's two different ways that you can get to this. So we call it CareerLion by Handshake. And you may hear me call it either CareerLion, or you may hear me call it Handshake. But if I say any of those things, I mean the same thing, just shortening it. So to get to Handshake, as a student, if you are a current student with the One Login credentials, you can actually go in through One Login from the NCTC homepage. So it's this button right up at the top of the NCTC homepage at nctc.edu. And you can click on that and you can log in with your NCTC credentials. I'm going to show you mine real quick. And mine might look a little bit different since I'm a staff instead of a student, but you should have some apps like this, and there should be one that says CareerLion by Handshake right here. If you don't see it on this first page, you can go up here and click this All Apps Everything, and it might be under that. So you should see a little icon like that, and then you can click on that, and then it'll connect you to One Login where you'll sign into your credentials again, and then it'll connect you over to Handshake. Another way is if you're an alumni, if you're a community member, or if you just want to access this another way, you can go to nctc.joinhandshake.com, and it'll take you to a page that looks just like this. And so again, if you're a current student, you can click on this big blue button right here in the middle of the screen. And this could be to either log in if you've used Handshake before, or it could be to activate your account if this is new for you. And what that's going to do as a current student, it's going to connect you with that One Login. So you'll enter in your NCTC credentials, and then it'll connect you to One Login, and then you'll be able to set up your account that way, or log in that way.
Let me just say right here that
Sure.
That's to do with your NCTC student email. And the reason that is because we have already put in your program and your student information. And so it's a really easy transition if you will log in with your student ID and connects you directly to NCTC.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'll just show you. So if I click on this, it actually takes you directly to that. Well, it didn't click as I'm signed in. Yeah, so since I'm signed in, it didn't show it to you. Let me sign out real quick and see if that. Yeah, so it'll take you to this One Login. Well, you'll have to enter in your credentials, but then you could click continue, and then it will take you to Handshake, or to One Login and then Handshake. If you are not, I'm not sure if we have any alumni that are going to be watching this, so I'll just show them this real quick. But if they go back to that nctc.join-handshake, I need to log out again, sorry. Doop, doop, doop. Gotta love technology. Okay, so if any alumni are watching this and want to get registered, you won't go through this way because you won't have that current credentials to get in. You'll go up here to this top section where it says no account, sign up here. And then from this page, you'll enter in your email. Now it prompts you to enter your NCTC email. So if you still have access to your NCTC email as an alumni, you can enter it here. But if you don't, if you either don't have access to it, or if you happen to be a community member watching this and you don't have an NCTC email address, then you can just use your personal email address. If you log in through this way, everybody that logs in this way will have to be verified and approved by somebody in the Career Center. And so if you are a current student and you're trying to log in this way with a personal email, you won't be approved. So only alumni and only community members can log in this way. All current students have to log in through their One Login account. So hopefully that helps. And we're going to be, I'm currently working on a detailed video on how to register and complete that profile section, and also another video of how to actually use Handshake, which I will go through briefly today. But these detailed videos will be up on our YouTube channel, hopefully within the next week or so. So if you just go and type in NCTC Career Services on YouTube and find our YouTube channel. Those should be coming up in the next week or so. But anyway, so I am going to log into Handshake. What this is going to have you do, if this is your first time using it, it's going to have you create an account. So it's going to have you basically just set up your profile, and it's going to ask you a lot of basically like resume questions. So what is your employment history? What kinds of jobs are you looking for? What industry are you in? And different questions like that, just so it kind of starts building your profile as if you were applying to your career job. So if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to us at Career Services. You can email careerservices@nctc.edu, and we would be happy to help. Okay, so once you have your account created, this is going to be your homepage, your dashboard. And there's a lot of great resources on here for you. One of which is the job board, which is this first button right here, where you can go in and search for jobs or internships. And this could be part-time jobs while you're in school. This could be full-time jobs when you're getting ready to graduate. This could be an internship. It could be temporary summer jobs. I mean, it could be just anything that you're looking for, you can find in here. And I'll click on that in just a minute. Another button you have is employers. So this button is actually really cool because you can see what employers are using this system. And you can narrow it down by location too. So let's say, for example, you only want to work in Denton. You don't want to go outside of Denton. You can click on employers, you can narrow it down by Denton, and then you can narrow it down like by type of industry. So if you're looking at daycares, you can narrow it down by daycares in Denton and see who's on here. And that's how you can get connected with those employers. There's also this community platform right here where you can get connected to other students and alumni, not just from NCTC, but also other schools. So you can get connected with other students that have a similar career path as you or a similar major, and just kind of be able to network with them and see where they're getting hired and see, what their career journey is like. There's also this career paths. This probably won't be super relevant for you guys since you already have a major and a career path probably laid out. But if you're still exploring, then this is a great button and resource for you to look at different job titles, different salaries that those job titles earn, the requirements and education that it takes to get into that type of field. And just, basic job descriptions if you're interested in learning about what certain job titles do. It's a great research tool for you if you're in that exploration phase. Another great button are these events. These are events that are hosted either through NCTC, or it could be an event hosted through an employer directly. So we get a lot of employers that come in and want to do recruiting for our students, and sometimes they'll set up like a virtual hiring table and they can do an event in here. So I'll show you a couple events that we have coming up in just a minute, but I wanted to let you know that that was available to you as well. You also have this Career Center button over here, and this links you directly with your NCTC Career Center. And I'm going to click on this real quick so I can show you. Maybe. There it goes. So in this Career Center button, it gives you more information about just our Career Center and what we do. It gives you the option to set an appointment with your career coach. It gives you some resources for job searching, for resumes, different things like that, if you need some extra resources. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you can see all of our upcoming events. So these are actually NCTC events that we are hosting. So just real quick, I'm going to just share some of these upcoming ones. So we have two main ones coming up. One is going to be just a general virtual job fair for any major. It's going to be on Thursday, April 22nd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And this would be a great opportunity for those who are looking for, positions for the summer, maybe even those graduating looking for full-time jobs. There's going to be lots of different employers here hiring for lots of different types of positions. So you never know what you'll find in there, but there's lots of great opportunities, lots of employers. So I would highly encourage you to attend that if you are looking for employment. Another one that we have coming up is our health science career fair. So if you have any friends or family in the health science industry and they're looking for a job, this is a great one as well. Both of these events are hosted through Handshake, so they're going to be virtual, which basically just means that you can join from your phone or from your computer, and it's basically like a video chat with the employers. And they have the option of doing group sessions where you can meet with the employer and then a bunch of people can join in and listen to the employer present. Or they also have the option of one-on-one, where it's you meeting one-on-one with the employer. And so it's a great way to get connected to these employers, learn more about them, learn more about what they're hiring for and what they're looking for in their candidates, and just a really great way to network and connect with them. So I'm going to go back real quick. If you click on this logo up at the top left corner, it'll take you back to that dashboard, that home page. And I'm going to click on this first one, this jobs section, so I can show this to you too. So like I said at the beginning, so with Handshake, employers can reach out to NCTC and ask to post their positions with us. So every position that's posted on here and every employer that we have on here has been approved by us already. So they've been approved, meaning basically that we've verified that they're a legitimate employer, that they're hiring legitimate positions, and that it's not, scam or maybe like a risky employer that is trying to steal your information or whatever, which you can find on Indeed sometimes. You just got to be careful of what you're applying to, because there are those job scams out there that are not legitimate. So everything on Handshake has been approved by one of our staff members, so you can trust that it's, a real position that's being posted. And so what you can do, so the way, after you create your profile, whenever you first go into jobs, it's going to give you recommended jobs based off of your profile. Since I'm in a fake position or fake student account right now, there's just a bunch of random stuff in here. But if you were to set up an account as like a child development professional, it would probably give you more child development focused jobs right up at the front. But you can also do a search. So if you wanted to search, for example, like, I don't know, like daycare, just to see what would come up that way. And then you can also narrow it down by location. So I'm just going to click Denton as an example, and you could choose if you want it, closer to the location that you selected, so within 15 miles or within 50. You can change this however suits your needs. And you'll see that with my specifications, it brought up 2 part-time jobs in Denton. And you can expand your search by typing in like Dallas or Fort Worth, and it'll give you the radius around those cities too. You can also narrow it down by full-time, internship, part-time, on campus, and then you can see all of the filters. So this is a great way to search for jobs, see what's out there, and yeah. One tip that I would suggest too, so on this one I just typed in daycare. You could also type in maybe like teaching assistant, and it gives you a lot more. So just changing the words that you're searching sometimes can help expand your search too. So if there's a couple different variants of the job title that you're looking for, sometimes if you type in those different ones, even though they're probably the similar position, it might bring up different results for you. So I would encourage you to use multiple searches. And so you can see what comes up on here. All right. And Daphne, was there anything else specifically that you wanted me to show them?
Well, I did notice as you're doing that right there is a ESS. that's good to know that ESS posts with us, because a lot of school districts contract with them to provide those substitute positions. I know Denton does, and Sanger does, and probably some others in the area. So I'm excited to see that on there, because it cuts out, one step in looking for some of those positions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those responsive ed, those are good ones. Those are really good employers. No, I don't have anything other to add other than that. Thank you.
There was one thing that I thought of. So I wanted to show, I'm trying to find a good example here. I might have to just like go off. Let me just see what comes up on the front. Maybe we can go back and do that. Let's see. Be like a tutor position. So, okay, so I just wanted to show, just for an example of how to read these job descriptions. Some of them are pretty straightforward and it gives you the basic job description, the requirements, qualifications. But I wanted to point out just a couple of things. So there's a big difference between requirements and like preferred qualifications. So if they say something's required, typically that means that that is going to be a minimum qualification for someone to be considered for that position. If it says preferred, that means that's what they prefer, but if you don't have that, then that's okay. But I will say, if you meet maybe 60, 70% of the requirements, go ahead and apply for it, because you never know. What if you happen to be the only one that applies? Or what if you are 1 in 10 that applies and you are the most qualified compared to those other 9 people that applied? So you don't necessarily have to meet every single requirement that they have listed on there to apply and be considered. So one of the things that I have seen is where they'll say like a certification is preferred or required, or a bachelor's degree, or it'll say an associate's degree, or it'll say maybe 10 years of experience or 5 years of experience, or whatever it may be. If you meet even just a portion of that, I wouldn't let that be a deterrent for you, unless it specifically says, don't apply unless you have this, because you never know what they're actually looking for. A lot of times they have these job descriptions kind of already written and laid out, and they'll just go and post them when they have the job opening. And so sometimes they're a little bit more flexible on what they're looking for. So I would encourage you to apply if you meet about 60, 70% of the qualifications.
And I totally agree with what Shannon is saying. My philosophy is make somebody else tell you no, don't tell yourself no. And so if it's in that 60 to 70% range is a perfect bullseye there, and really noticing what is required and what is preferred. And, keep in mind, if you can communicate effectively your skills, even those transferable skills, that maybe you don't have directly in the field, but if you can effectively communicate that, then you're going to, do yourself a big favor by just going ahead and taking that chance. And, that's something too that NCTC Career Services, we can help you do. Like, we can help you look at that job description and really decipher, okay, what is it that this employer is wanting? And how does that align with you and your skills and abilities? And then how do you present that, right? Because you really want to use that job description as the base for preparing to apply and present yourself for that position.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're not going to go into resumes today, but just a quick tip, and kind of getting into what Daphne was saying, is that if you look at the job description and you see that they're asking for certain skills or certain qualities, make sure that you are putting those in your resume, because that resume is a marketing piece that's marketing you and your skills. And so if it's not listed on there, how are they going to know that you have those? So as an example, on this, I just pulled up a tutor position. So they want somebody that's passionate about helping students. So that's something that you could add into your resume and show them that you have that passion for working with students, and maybe showing some experience that you have doing that. Know how to organize a tutoring session. So on your resume, you would put something about how you have the ability to organize, or you have the ability to coordinate different things. And so it will show them that you have those skills. So those are just a couple of examples, but we like to pull those skills and qualities out of the job description and make sure that they're on your resume.
And I would say too, in regards to that, being able to qualify or even quantify those things is very impactful to prospective employers. So as opposed to saying, I'm passionate about helping students, that's great, but give something that backs that up. Or if you can organize a tutoring session, maybe you have a lesson plan. Maybe you have done that before. So I have organized tutoring sessions for 25 students over the past semester. That is much more impactful than saying I can organize a tutoring session, right? So you have quantified that. So keep that in mind too. Those are also important as you prepare for interviews, to be able to have narrative and substance to the things that you're saying about yourself. So if you're going to put in your application or resume that you're a team player, well, first of all, everybody puts that. So you need to make sure that you can back that up. Like, how do we know that? When have you participated on a team? What role did you play on the team? Doesn't always need to be the leader. It's important to be able to follow well. So, just being able to have the words and the qualitative expression that will support those statements, I think, is important. And then also, if I could say one more thing, this is especially for students who are looking for employment while they're in school, and maybe you're having trouble finding a tutoring position or a childcare position or something like that, which right now we're seeing a lot of those. We're getting a lot of calls for those as students, and everybody's kind of going back into, sorry about that, Shannon, going back into real life, hopefully. Those childcare positions are coming up and things like that. But if you're struggling to find something like that, think of positions, jobs that you could obtain that are going to give you transferable skills. Or think about the skills that you're gaining in a position that transfer and are that you can align in some way with that dream position, right? So there's lots of things that go into caring for children. There's behavior management, there's time management, there's organization, there's staying on task, there's lots of different things. And so pulling those skills and abilities out of whatever job that you have, or looking for jobs that have some sort of alignment to those same skills that you want, either skills that maybe you're not great at and you want to develop in yourself, or skills that you're strong in that you want to get stronger. Either one's fine. So keep that in mind too. So you can transfer and speak to how those skills transfer to those positions that you really want. I'm sorry.
No, that's great. And I showed them pretty much everything there is in Handshake. Like I said, there will be a detailed video coming out soon on our YouTube channel. But if anybody has any questions, or if they need just kind of like that one-on-one assistance registering or learning how to use the system, they are more than welcome to reach out to me or our Career Services Center, and we would all be happy to help.
Wonderful. I do want to show one more thing, and I think I'm going to share my screen real quickly, because I think that this is super beneficial for students, and maybe we don't. I know I don't talk about it near enough. So this is Handshake, just from my perspective as well. I want you to look up here. Shannon went over these jobs. I want you to look up here in events. And Shannon shared with you the events that we have coming up, which are fantastic and beneficial. But one of the benefits to partnering with Handshake to provide our job board is that many companies across the nation provide events for students that you can participate in. And so I'm just going to kind of scan through, here's a corporate and workplace solutions coffee chat. That's going to give you skills in networking, in professional presentation. How do you present yourself when you're having these sorts of conversations? Also getting comfortable with having professional engagement online. Some of them are hiring events, some of them are professional training events, some of them might just be fun. So I just wanted to share that as well. Here's another job fair. This is in Grapevine. Here's a virtual teacher job fair. So utilizing and taking these opportunities to kind of get more comfortable with that process, right? So you don't want your very first interview to be the one interview that this is the job you want so bad. It's better to kind of warm yourself up with some others and get some experience and that sort of stuff. So these are opportunities for you to experience some events, get comfortable in this professional networking environment, and really just get more comfortable. So I wanted to share that real quick because I think that can be super beneficial for students to participate in some of those events, whether it's ours or other places. Oh, and so Ms. Wolf, I think what kind of questions might you have for us? That's really how, the avenues for us to help students know how to do some job search right there. Of course, they can make appointments with a career coach to kind of walk through that process or prepare or look in different places. I will say, as I told you earlier, Shannon Solomon is the career coach that's assigned to the teacher educators and child development programs here at NCTC. So she really works to make sure she stays abreast of what's happening and what's out there and can prepare those students well. So she will be your contact. I also would like to say that the Career Services webpage that's a place where you can contact us. It has our contact information. And we're also adding content to our YouTube page all the time. So we have some employability skills training, preparing for a job fair, all of those sorts of things. So check that out in your spare time and see if there's information there that might be beneficial to you. What else can we do for y'all?
Well, I have to say I learned so much today. I knew how valuable you are to NCTC, but I didn't know the extent of everything that you do for the students, alumni, the division chairs. I mean, you're just out and about just helping to connect. Because I remember when I was in school, it's like I was working so hard toward the degree, and then I reached the goal of the degree, and I'm like, okay, what's next? I didn't have the training on how to apply, the fear of how do I find a job? How do they find me? So the fact that this service is here to help students make that connection to the next step or the step while they're going to school to help finance school. Part-time jobs are valuable as you're trying to get your degree, especially in the teaching field when you student teach and you can't always work traditional jobs. This is an opportunity to find those part-time jobs with additional hours that may work around that. So yeah. And
I will say it's so important to us. People get their education because they want a specific career, because they have a vision for their life and what that looks. And we all spend so much time at work and in our careers, and that's so important in our culture. It is really important to us to help equip students with, kind of finessing those skills to make them more competitive, to give them that edge. And we want when a NCTC student graduates from with their AAT, they're going to know that they have those hard skills that they learned in the classroom, but we want them to know too that they're going to be able to work on a team, that they're going to be able to communicate professionally. So when that application hits the desk of the principal or the superintendent, they're going to go, oh, they went to NCTC, we want to talk to that person. And that's really important to us, and helping our students be successful in those goals that they've set for themselves. So.
Well, thank you so much. And I am going to, as I was watching the presentation today, I'm going to share this with our learning frameworks instructors as well, because we spent a good portion of that course exploring a career, researching different careers that the students are working toward. So your Handshake page would be a great resource for them to use as they're researching their careers and still trying to determine what they want to do. So
Yeah.
this would be great information there as well. So.
And I will say just some other partnerships that we have with other departments at NCTC that we're happy to do with child development and teaching as well. In some of your courses where maybe they're doing some professional development, if you have any courses where they're working on professional presentations, we sit and do some of those panels with people and give them feedback on professional presentation. Sometimes we have instructors who will collect resumes from all their students, and we review all of those and then get back with the students and say here, so we can kind of do it in bulk. We meet with students one-on-one, but we absolutely partner with instructors as well. We even have some courses in the CTE program where we will have a day of mock interviews, and their students prepare and they send us the resumes, and then we do a panel interview with all of them, as they're getting close to graduation, to really kind of help get them comfortable with that. So we're here for you and your instructors and your students in whatever way we can to, help prepare students and make them more comfortable with that process, like you were saying.
And we can also do like resume workshops and stuff too, and teach them, how to build a great resume that helps them stand out among their competition too. Because sometimes they know the basics of a resume, but they don't know that the strategy pieces that help them get, past the other candidates that are applying too. So
there's so many different styles of resumes. So how do you know which one's going to grab the attention when 1,000 people are applying for a position? So.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time today. I think once we get this video in the hands of students, they're going to be knocking on your door for this help. So I appreciate all that you do, and keep up the good work. So
thank you so much. We appreciate it. We look forward to working with your students.